Alright, so I'm going to try this video in a vertical format. Not exactly sure why, but we'll give it a shot. I, all of a sudden, am inspired to re-up my lip palette for the new year. I feel like it's right. And here is my lipstick graveyard. I don't think I've really shown you guys much of it, but I thought since I was planning on pulling it out anyways, I would give it a shot. It seems oddly more melted than it was in the past, so it must have gotten smushed or something like that. Let me keep a paper towel nearby to wipe my fingers because there's a lot going on here. Alright, so first, let's go ahead and add a lipstick to this lipstick graveyard. This is actually the Dolce & Gabbana one, but I'm not going to reach on this for this on my own other than for a challenge. So this one is going to go into the graveyard, and it slid out very nicely. Thank you, Dolce & Gabbana. So this one is going to get added to the graveyard. And this is kind of where the fun begins. So I think from my recollection, there's a bit of a Rare Beauty balm in here. So I might take some of that. There's this like blue lipstick that I had from L'Oreal. So I might just take scrapings from this side. And I think there's also this light pink one, I think was like a pH changing one from, not a fancy brand. It was from the Baby Lips one, the Maybelline, I guess, makes that one. Okay, so I think that's going to get scraped in here. Might do a little bit more of that mix along with some other stuff. I don't even remember what's in here, to be honest. There might be, some of this stuff feels really stiff, so there must be some like actual lipsticks in here. Sometimes I give it a sniff to see if I can figure it out, but I honestly can't right now. There might be a Milani lipstick in there. Take more of this balm. I always thought that I would keep this balm around to like make shades. Sorry, you can't even see what I'm doing. I always thought I would keep this blue shade around to like lighten or like make warm shades cooler, but honestly, I just haven't done much of that. I think this one over here is skew. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry. On camera, it looks like such a mess. Actually, in real life, it looks like such a mess. It just looks like cake, cake leftovers, pretty much. All right, so I'm gonna pop all that in here. Wow, this is really cool, actually, to me, because these were all my lipstick graveyard, and I think I've never really shown you guys this before. I could see myself really trying to work through my lipstick graveyard in this next year. All right, so here I'm just obviously using a candle lighter to go ahead and melt that down. This might overflow, actually might be a little bit too tall, so I might leave that there. It's definitely literally on edge. Okay, might have melted a bit of that plastic too. Oh, carcinogens. This is what I risk for makeup. Alright, so this mix, I want to do a little bit of that Dolce & Gabbana lipstick in there too. So let me throw some of, let me push that over here, reframe myself. Okay, there we go. And then I'll probably take a little bit of this more balmy ones because the Dolce & Gabbana one's super pigmented. This one might be a lipstick, but that's okay. I will make do. Okay, let me take out that lipstick just a little bit. Okay. Alright, so this is what's left of my lipstick graveyard. We'll put it back. Wow, I didn't realize it looked so gnarly. But most of that blue shade's out now. And I might just need to move that elsewhere, I think. I might find a pot for that because whatever situation I had going on there was not working. Okay. So let me go ahead and push that together. That looks really cool. Yeah, this one looks like it's a little full. But let's melt this one down and then we can see where we're at with things. I try to keep the flame moving so I'm not really melting the actual plastic of the packaging, but sometimes I still mess that up. Okay, yeah, so the balm is definitely getting everywhere, but you can see those few colors showing up, which is pretty cool. Okay, gonna smush that into place. So who knows how that shade's gonna turn out? Definitely darker than the rest. If there's too much overflow in this one, I might just push that into that spot there. So maybe I'll do that now. I have a feeling, just from my previous experience, this packaging doesn't do well if it's like not flush on top. So let me take that bit there. Push it over here. I might not even melt it. I might just leave it like that. All right, here's the crazy hodgepodge I have for the time being. Sometimes I just like to remelt the top so that it looks a little cleaner. But I think that's more or less it. Let's wipe it down. The edges here. Looks like I'll be working with some pretty dark shades next year. I'm not mad about it. Definitely not in my wheelhouse. And a lot of it will probably be used for underpainting. But oops, totally just slipped. Oop, runaway paper towel. And last one here. See if I can get my finger to be clean enough. Yep, not too bad. All right, so that's more or less cleaned up for now. As you can see, it's pretty chaotic, but I think this always gives me a better picture of how much product I really have in my collection. And while I'm on camera, let me also go ahead and figure out what I'm doing with this hodgepodge mix here. I'm going to close this and let it cool. I have a whole bag of options here. Let's see if there's anything that's suitable. That one looks too small. This one would be a fun one, the Charlotte Tilbury one. Definitely gets super messy though, but I really like clear packaging. It helps me see what is still going on. I also have this La Mer one as well, but it's white, so I'm a little bit nervous about that one. I also have this Laneige one, but I feel like once I got it in here, I wouldn't be able to tell what is in here. But sometimes I like to put other things in here and actually like pull it out of my vanity, so I might save it for that. So let me go ahead and use a Laneige one. Ooh, I still have bronzer residue in that one, so that tells you how little I did not wipe it down properly after I used it up. So I'll do that now. And while ideally I would wash it and all that stuff, since this is my lipstick graveyard and not something I'm like even going to actually end up using up all of it, so I'm not that worried about the sanitation of it. Okay, so that's more or less clean. So let's scrape this stuff in here. I think I'll feel better once I get this into a more uniform situation here. But yeah, I think honestly I'll probably just try to keep using up this mess until it's done this year. It'd be amazing if I could use up my lipstick graveyard. Like, I always wanted to keep some stuff around for like mixing purposes, but I don't think that this is the way to do it. I would not suggest it. I think I always thought I would need like to keep a blue type lipstick around, but honestly I wasn't pulling for it. I think I'd much rather some sort of either blue eyeshadow or some blue corrector to maybe do that instead. I'm eyeing a few, but not really gonna gun for it right now. Just kind of smush that Dolce & Gabbana lipstick in there. But yeah, that's that. It's always kind of fun to also see what comes off the spatula once I'm done with sessions like this. No, definitely pretty dark. Feels pretty balmy, but that's kind of the general shade of my Graveyard lipsticks, and probably what the two that I pushed into the mix looks like. Let me also clean the cap here. Just a bit, okay. All right, so that one I'll have to label as Lipstick Graveyard. Let me do that now. Nope, blue on blue pen is not gonna work. Do I have a black in here? I don't think so. I thought I had a purple one too, but I might have moved it. Let's see if this pink will show up. No, not very well. Let me try that blue one. That's what I'll focus when I have. Now that you can see my options. Oh yeah, that's not too bad. Lipstick Graveyard. Okay. So that one is that. Thankfully it fits all in here. This is a 10 milliliter jar, so I'm estimating there's maybe about 7 milliliters of stuff to work through in here. And if you're curious, each of these wells, at least on the back, it says it's 1.2 grams, I think. So altogether it is, nope, it doesn't tell me altogether. If I can do quick math, 6 plus like 7-ish grams in here as well. So almost about the same here as it is in here. Of course, these are probably overfilled to what the original product came in, but you know, that's, I think it's still saying something. So yeah, that's kind of what we're looking at for this next year, is to use these up and then use as much up of this as I can. And honestly, from the last year and the progress I was able to make through my lipstick palette, I'm pretty pumped about it. I think between using it as cream blush, that's what I'm trying to say, and lipsticks, it honestly worked out pretty well. So that's where I'm going to leave it for now, and this is where what I'll be using going into the new year. But thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.